Hey guys, welcome back to Data Products with R. In this video, we're going to wrap up our sentiment analysis. We're going to do some word clouds, some more visualization. This one should be shorter than the last two, which ran a little long. But to alleviate how much time you're staring at me or this video, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so we ended the last one by customizing our sentiment. And so now we're going to do word clouds. So let's annotate a little more. So you can see that tidy text mining and sentiment analysis works well with ggplot2, but having our data in tidy format leads to other nice graphing techniques. Let's use the word cloud package. Alright, oops. Alright, so let's do library word cloud and tidy books and wipe down, anti-join, stop words. If you want, you can use our custom stop words if you want to get rid of great and those words that we picked. We're going to do count, and we're going to do with, word cloud, word, and then we're going to do max words equals 100 because we don't want it so many words that you can't even read what's going on. So boom. So here we go. We used our tidy books, which was all of our books, right? All of our Darwin books. And based on the size of the word, that is the count. So you can kind of see what jumps out at you. Male, males, female, animals, birds are the obviously highest count number. And then you go down natural selection, appears, trees, etc. So cool. So that's a cool way to visualize it. If you're not wanting to if you just want your point across is these are the most common words. You don't want it doesn't matter if your viewer or reader needs to know the exact count if it's more of a relative thing. Okay, so let's also look at comparison cloud as another cloud thing, which may require turning the data frame into a matrix. So this all depends on the function, right? Some functions want you to use data frame, some want you to use matrix, but we can change to matrix using the acast function. So let's try it with that. So let's do tidy books. Oops, we gotta put our little R in here. And we can pipe down, inner join, get sentiments, bing, and then pipe down, count our word, our sentiment, sort equals true, pipe down, acast, so we're going to change it to a matrix. So we're going to do word by sentiment, value, variable equals n, fill equals 0. So if there's nothing there, don't put anything in there, or put a 0 in there, I should say. Comparison cloud, colors equals gray. You can pick whatever colors you want here. I'm going to just pick a couple gray ones. Gray 20, and then gray 80, and then max words again. You can play with this too. I'm going to set it to 100 just so it's easy to read. So we've... Oh, I forgot the library. So we need to load reshape too. reshape 2. Library, reshape 2. There we go. Okay, so what this does is it adds another dimension, right? So before we had, all right, big versus small is the count number. And so this one, big versus small, is still the count number, but the more dark it is, the more negative that word is, and the more light gray it is, the more positive that word is. And so really, we just have it's either positive or negative, right? It's not, if we use like, what was the one? Aphin? Is Aphin the one that had numbers? I can't remember which is which anymore. But you can see all the light gray ones are positive words, all the dark gray ones are negative. If we looked at this, we can see what the most common words are, but we can't tell if they're positive or negative. So we've added like another, essentially made the same thing, but we've added another dimension to the data. Okay, so looking at units beyond words, lots of useful work can be done by tokenizing at the word level, but sometimes it's nice to look at different units of text. For example, you can look beyond just unigrams. So an example, I am not having a good day. So if we were to count positive and negative words, we would probably have not, and we'd have good. So this sentence would be, if we looked at just our unigrams, would be neutral, right? Because we have one negative and one positive. But the actual tone of the sentence, I'm not having a good day, that is definitely a negative thing, right? So sometimes we need to look beyond just single words, right? So being negative, we're gonna say get sentiments Bing, and then pipe down, and we're gonna say filter sentiment is negative, and then we're going to do word counts, tidy books, pipe down, group by book, chapter, summarize, words equals n, and then tidy books, semi-join, being negative, big negative, group by book, chapter, summarize, negative, words equals n, left join, word counts, by equals c, book, chapter, mutate, ratio equals negative words divided by words, filter chapter does not equal 0, so anything, we don't want the first chapter, or the 0 chapter, which is like our title and our author and when it was published and all that stuff. We saw that with the Jane Austen stuff earlier, so we don't want that. Slice max, ratio n equals 1, and then ungroup. Okay, so we saw this example here, I'm not having a good day. So if we were to count this just based on unigrams, we'd have one negative and we'd have a positive, but this whole sentence we would classify as a negative. So we can actually break our analysis into like chapters, right? And so if we wanted to look and say, okay, is this a negative chapter? Is this a positive chapter? Or is this a negative paragraph? Is this a positive paragraph? Sentences, etc. So if we want to look at something more than just single words throughout the entire text, we can break it apart like this, right? So from this analysis, we looked at every chapter of every book of Darwin, and then we have the number of negative words and the total words in that chapter. There's only 86 words in chapter 3 of Origin of Species. Interesting. And then we had a ratio. So this is just the percent of words that are negative out of all the words in that chapter. And then we've ordered it that way. So the most negative chapter is chapter 3 of the Origin of Species. Then the next most negative chapter is chapter 20 of the Descent of Man. Then chapter 10 and the Expression of Emotion. Then chapter 10, the Voyage of the Beagle, etc. So like I said, you can also do this in terms of paragraphs if you wanted to, or something bigger than just words. We will get into, I believe in the next chapter, we'll get into like bigrams and trigrams. So like having one word or like not good would be a negative, like is a bigram, it'd be negative, right? Although good and not are each, one's negative, one's positive, we might want to look at them jointly or together. So, anywho, 12 minutes, pretty good. So that's the end of this video. That's the end of just the sentiment analysis part. We will get a little deeper into some of this stuff, but this 3-lecture script is done. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit like, please hit subscribe, please ring the bell. Let's spread this. This is free education for everybody. And stick around, we'll be doing more. We'll eventually get to our Twitter sentiment analysis, which will be fun. And that's it for me. I'll catch you in the next one.